Three, two, one. Okay, cool. Yo, welcome to the Sundays Only podcast. We are live. We are back with another Sunday. We were off for about like 2 weeks, and we're excited to jump back in. Like we had a pretty exciting topic for you guys, and all of Christian YouTube has covered this topic, but we figured we might as well jump in because why not? We're trying to grow a little something on YouTube. We're trying to get some like subscribers, some likes. You know what I mean?
We trying to
Everybody
have
else
some
doing
transformations,
we try to have some transformations, and since everyone's doing it, we were just like, why not, right? Like, Mike Todd Transformation Church is a big thing. But before we get into that, Chad, how you doing, bro?
Bro, I'm transforming right now, bro.
Hey, yo, my guy.
Yo, I'm a transformer, bro. They call me Autobot, bro. Mr.
What?
Autobot, bro.
What's going on here?
Yo, nah, bro, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Like it feels good to be back on live. We've been off for a few weeks. It really felt like the devil didn't want us to be on today, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna get a little spiritual. I feel like the devil didn't want us to get on, bro. I came home, bro. I had to eat. Like my whole setup here was in the living room. I had to move things over here. It just felt like our episode changed a few times. It's crazy, but I feel like we're here now. So we good. This weekend was. It was chill, went down to South Jersey for a bit, see my grandmother on Friday.
Man, you was in my neck of the woods, bro. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
bro. They were saying John. They said pass that John and make a left. I was like, yo, what? They say, yo, you want to get a hoagie, bro? It's like, yo,
Hey, yo. I mean that's the right way to say it. So I mean, like,
yo, a hoagie with pork roll on it, bro.
bro, it's a whole hoagie, bro.
Yeah, man. And then yesterday, what did I do yesterday? Yesterday I went to I tried to do that new John, bro, the supercharged, the world's largest go-kart thing. Bro,
The what?
world's largest go-karting like facility, indoor go-karting facility. I went yesterday and
Okay.
bro, that John was 3 hours long, the line, bro. I was like, nah, bro. We waited an hour and then we just dipped out. We were like, nah, we're not waiting 2 more hours for this. So then after that, now, yeah, we, I went over to my boy's house. We watched the fight last night. It was wild, bro. It was a free fight, right? It was one of those fight nights on ESPN Plus. So I didn't have to pay anything. So it was pretty good, bro. It was a good weekend, bro. All in all.
Nice.
What about you, bro? What's going on?
Bro, my weekend was pretty good. Can you hear me okay? Like
Yeah,
I got my AirPod. Okay, cool. I got my AirPods in, so some sound weird on my end for a little bit, but I don't know if that's
I
like
think the audio connected to your AirPods because when you put the other one down, I heard you put it into the case.
okay. Oh, okay, that's weird.
Maybe
Okay,
it's not
so
on your
but
microphone.
that probably makes sense. Hold on. Let me take
Yo,
this off.
it's not even technical difficulties. We good, That's what I'm saying. The devil trying to attack us right now. Feel me? Like,
Hey, I'm dead.
yeah, nah. See, I barely heard you when you said that. So like, I think, yeah, it was connected to the AirPods, but we straight, bro. We gonna get this message out. We gonna transform tonight.
Hey, I'm not even tripping, bro. Like I feel like I'm natural on camera. By God's grace, we here. You know what I mean? I had to put in the OG joints, but hey, cool. Can you hear me now?
It sounds mad robotic, bro.
Does it really?
Yeah, try unplugging it.
Hello.
Oh, you gotta go in the settings. I think you gotta go in the settings and change it to the microphone.
Yo, you know that. Wait.
It was not technical difficulties for the people listening, bro. I'm telling you, bro. We talking tonight. We speaking. Oh, I hear you now. You good.
What? Well, yo, that's so weird. Cause I had it like the default to my microphone, but for some reason it just, I don't know. So am I good now?
Yeah, you good, bro.
Cool. But to answer your question, bro, I'm doing okay. I'm doing good. This weekend was pretty chill, man. Yeah, Friday was chill. Had a little kickback with some of the guys from church, and we just hung out.
That's not Christian, bro. How you kicking back, bro?
Hey, yo, bro. Sometimes, like, it's a Sinners Only podcast, and we give into those tendencies. You know what I mean?
Hey,
so,
yeah.
let me stop. But yeah, did that. Saturday, I went to my first anime convention, which was like really fun. I'm just doing all the sinful things that Christians just don't like.
Bro,
You
I'm
know what I
so
mean?
disappointed in you, bro. Like,
Hey, yo, I'm dead,
bro,
bro.
that man
First,
smell like a sweaty gym sock now, bro. He went one
hey,
anime convention, bro. He forgot
bro,
how to
bro,
shower.
bro. I'm here, bro. I'm here, bro. Yeah, that job was mad fun, bro. I mostly went. No, well, yeah. Part of the reason I went because one of my boys ran the governor, Noah, lifelong friend. He was there. He was doing a convention, and like I was there to support him. I was like, oh, why not just go? I also knew a couple other artists too.
That was in the
Um,
city.
that what happened?
That was in the city.
And it was in Philly.
Oh, it was in
Uh,
Philly. Okay, gotcha.
yeah, so I took the train over there. And went there to support some of the people that I knew, and it was mad fun, bro. It was cool just to see like all these like people just gathered into one space and just really just enjoying like great art, great anime, music, whatever it is and stuff. So, bro, honestly, I felt like I was in my element, bro. Usually when I'm like at a new place, like I feel like a little like weird, like, especially when it comes to like connecting and socializing and stuff like that. But I was just like, yo, I'm just vibing, bro. It was really, really fun. And I got to there's this I don't know if they'll ever listen to this, but there was this podcast called the Blurred Bar that was there, and they were just like it was for me, and I think doing like anime relatable stuff on separate YouTube channel, it became inspiring to me because you had like kind of black nerds just like there and representing and giving their takes from like comic books to like anime to all these different things, right, and video games, and it was cool to just be able to connect with them and talk with them a little bit. um it was like, oh snap, there's people like me that are doing this, and like I was talking to them, wrapping up with them. We got like some like some video time of just like talking about different anime takes and stuff, and it was cool. I was just like, yo, I don't want to seem like I'm just trying to like connect with them because I'm trying to like be popping or whatever. But for them, they were like, yo, like no, we're in this together. You know what I mean? I think for me, I was like, wow, there's some real solidarity when it comes to this community. Not
How come
saying
the
that
church not like that, bro?
bro, the church is like that, you know what I mean,
Okay,
but it's
okay.
but I think there was like it navigated when it comes to social media, when it comes to like anything regarding your platform, if you're not doing it with people, it can very much feel like you are by yourself in this. And
Yeah.
we have the podcast, so we're doing it together, so I don't think it's a very different space than other people.
Not
um
lies. You be doing the most for the podcast, bro. Shout out to lies,
hey,
bro.
hey, yo, it's regular, you know what I mean?
You a beast, bro.
Nah, bro. but yeah, man. So it was cool just doing that and being out there, getting part of my first convention, bro. I was chilling, and today we went to church, and it was cool.
Bro, all I'm saying
Yeah.
is, bro, if y'all don't see Elijah wearing deodorant anymore, bro, you see this man cosplaying, bro, just know what happened, bro. They
Hey,
got this
yo,
man, bro.
I would never ever try not to wear deodorant. Like sometimes, like during the summer, the days just go by. You know what I mean? It's like I'm chilling. I'm
That
at home
man,
right now,
that
right?
man about to
But
pop out in a Sailor Moon dress next time you see him, bro.
yo, oh no, bro, I was there, and this is no shade to any like anime people, cons or whatever,
All
or people that
shade, all shade.
no shade, no shade at all, no like people that cosplay. I respect you guys. Most likely, I'm gonna be cosplaying at the next anime
You
convention I
see
go
what
to.
I'm saying, bro?
But
Like
but
they
but
got
but
you,
but but
bro.
bro, I was sitting there. I was like, these people are different, and not in a bad way, but it was just like I think for me, and not all anime lovers and manga artists people are the same, but I was like there. I felt like there was a connect as far as like what we love, but there was a disconnect as far as like the personality and stuff like that, right? And I don't know. I don't want to assume or like bring out, but I feel like there's a certain like aspect to a really in-depth, like really involved like anime person, and you just know that it's just like they are very, very interesting, and that's no shade, that's in a good way, whatever, but I'm just like this is very, it was all very new, so I'm still trying to process all of that. But yeah,
Yo,
that's
high key, if anybody couldn't tell, I was just joking. Like, don't take anything I just said
nah,
serious.
cancel him, cancel me
Yeah,
too, because I went to my
that man
ankle.
go come back with blue hair though. Not gonna
Hey
lie,
yo,
bro.
I'm dead,
And
bro.
he goes Super Saiyan God level 5, bro.
Bro, like my wife wouldn't even let me dye my hair, so
Bro, that would look fire though. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
like I
Yo,
mean,
blue dreads. Come
Bro,
on, bro.
I be trying to tell her, you know what I mean? I'm gonna break it down a little bit, you know what I
We
mean?
gotta
Like,
we gotta go blonde first, bro. Go blonde first, and then slowly integrate those colors in. You know,
hey, yo, got you, but bro, like, you know, what are we getting into today?
bro. So I mean, we got a pretty complex topic. I feel like there's two aspects to this, right? So, we're gonna be talking about Transformation Church. There's been a lot of news about Transformation Church and lately in the media. The Christian media, non-Christian media. I even seen the Washington post about Transformation Church in the last 2 weeks. So, first and foremost, Lige, um, have you have you seen some of this controversy at TC?
Yeah, I've been, everyone's been talking about it. Like, honestly, I think if you're in anywhere in the Christian YouTube or Christian social media, like, sphere, like, it's hard not to get around what's going on with Transformation Church, or what did happen with Transformation Church and their Easter service and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, Mike Todd he put on an Easter production, and I don't think most people have gotten to even watch the full thing. I think they've gotten to see clips from other YouTubers catching it early, and then just going off of that and stuff. And so as I know, as I know right now, they have like taken down the full performance. So it's not up right now, but I've seen people responding to it. I've seen like Ruslan's take on it. I've seen there's another guy I just listened to before this, like his take on it.
What was Ruslan's take on it? What was it? How was his angle from it?
I think he appreciated the value of the production of the Easter production, but he was kind of like his take was like, hey, like, pretty much at this point, Mike Todd knows what he's doing, right? Like, Mike Todd, like, he sees social media, he sees YouTube, whatever. And at this point, everyone on YouTube that's giving him flack, including like him, anyone else that covers this, and now most likely us, to all like 115 subs to our people, like, pretty much he was like, hey, we're Mike Todd's street team, like, at that point, right? Because it's like, you're like, we want to get people to stop watching Mike Todd, or people are trying to inform people about what's wrong with Mike Todd. But at the end of the day, they're just pushing out what he's doing, and he's getting more eyes and views on him, basically. So that's pretty much what his take was on. It's like, hey, like, we're at this point, if we want Mike Todd to stop having the influence that he has, or stop talking about him, then stop talking about him. That's literally what his take was, because like every Christian YouTube person is kind of like at this point just like, hey, Mike Todd did this. Mike Todd's bad. You should avoid him. Repeat. And at the end of the day, it just all goes back to like Mike Todd getting publicity.
My whole thing is, right, like, I feel like I didn't watch the play, but I feel like most of these topics in Christendom, and this coming from someone who didn't watch the play, so don't go crazy in the comments. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the topics we talk about Mike Todd, I feel like a lot of times it's really blown out of proportion. That's why I didn't even take the time to watch the play this time, because I was like, it's just going to be something that was easily cleared up. I'm not defending everything Mike Todd says or does. Like, spitting in your brother's face is pretty wild. Yeah. I'll stand by that. That's pretty extreme, just to prove a point. But yeah, I just feel like a lot of the times people are coming at him and unnecessarily for whatever reason. I didn't watch the play, but what I did see is, I see the clips that people are like having issues with. But I also seen clips by other people reposted, like Paris Cariz reposted a lot of that play in this last week. And he was like, so y'all not gonna post this? Y'all not gonna post, and that's what made me not watch the whole thing, because I was like, it just seems like, yeah, it's super easy to pull 10-15 seconds out of something, you know what I'm saying? And then judge the whole thing. But having said that, you saying that they took it down, I mean, that's a little suspect,
Yeah, I mean, like, my thing with it, right, is like, when it comes to Mike Todd, like, obviously, like, I think a lot of people, like, we want to, like, as people who are like on YouTube and people that do YouTube as far as like to make a living and stuff, at the end of the day, it's like, I think there is a real desire to like kind of like fight for truth and a real desire to like, you know, really defend against like false teachers in the church. I think that's really valuable and stuff like that. But at the end of I feel like also at the end of the day, it's like, you know, that this is kind of going to get you clicks and views. It's just it's just a matter of who's going to get to it first. And I think the first person that got that kind of like covered this was K-Dub. And then after him, everyone kind of followed suit because they knew it was getting traction.
Yeah, let's get K-Dub on here, bro.
Yeah, that would be cool. I think he's popping now, so I think it might be a little harder, but we could.
Yeah, that's what brought Elijah into Christian YouTube, bro. K-Dub is like this man's like inspiration.
I mean, so I don't listen to him as much anymore, but definitely when he like, you know, him and a few people were, you know, talking about or engaging with Hebrew Israelites and stuff, they were definitely like, he was definitely one of my go-to people. That's like, bet, like, this is what my family, this is what some of my friends are into. How can I defend against this?
Yeah.
If we ever could get him on, I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be really dope. But honestly, I think it is taken. A lot of it is taken out of proportion. I think, and what got me right. So I watched a video of him or Transformation doing it, of him talking about kind of, hey, what's the reason for them doing this play, right? And he was like, hey, how far can we get to the line of, how far can we get to sin without actually sinning? I don't know how to actually feel about that statement, but I'm just like, if he's trying to like explain like the harshness, the reality of sin, is that wrong, right? Like, because and then he purposed it before the play went on, and then at the beginning of the play, they did a whole thing. They were like, hey, this is a play to try to depict the true Easter story. There's extra characters added and stuff like that to kind of like, you know, bring out the artistic expression of it. But at the end of the day, you need to go to your Bible and read it. And I was like, like, I feel like that should be like, should we take that into account? Like, that he prefaced it, realizing that, hey, this is supposed to explain the Christian, like, this is supposed to explain the Christian storybook in an artistic way.
Let me rebuttal to that, right?
Yeah.
So why not just go to the scripture in the first place?
You know, like, I'm having a hard time with that, because I'm just like, I think Mike Todd, we know him as an out of the box type of person. So like, whatever he's gonna do is kind of like, it's gonna be over the top and stuff, and it's gonna shock people. I think with something like this, it was like, hey, how does he best like get eyes on the church? Or maybe I don't want to assume motive, but what if he's just like, hey, like, I wanted to be able to show the reality of sin and what Jesus has actually done for us.
Yeah, because Jesus, he descended before he ascended, right? So how do you depict that in a real way? You know, like, it's not all sunshines and rainbows, you know, like, he descended before he ascended, you know, like, it's just what it is, you know, like, the Son of Man wasn't like, he was perfect, right? Jesus was perfect, but yet he was slain, you know, he was slain for the sin of all humanity that would believe in him, right? So it's like, how do you depict that in a sunshine and rainbow way? And I feel like, again, not watching the whole play, but like, I feel like people on the internet search for things to kind of bring Mike Todd down because they don't agree with his style of preaching. They don't agree with the things he says, how he says it, how unapologetically he is himself. Not calling and not just saying all this to say Mike Todd is always right, because again, he's done some crazy things and said some crazy things in the past. But it's like, I feel like people aren't trying to build bridges with Mike Todd. I feel like majority of the internet is trying to like find something to call him a false preacher, to call him this and that. So like, I feel like something like this was an easy kind of grasp at that, you know, be like, oh, he said something that he had something in the play that was vulgar. How could he let that happen? You know, like, I don't know, man. It's only so much ways that you could depict evil without, you know.
Yeah, and my thing is like with the lack of access to the actual play and people not being able to watch it, at this point it is like kind of like a word of mouth, like, hey, what has this YouTuber like covered or said, and so what this YouTuber, so it's kind of like a trickling down of like what someone else said about this Easter play or something like that, right? And I think like there's something to that where it's like, okay, like there's a line to it where it's just like, at the end of the day, we're just going off of what other people said about it, and we're not actually like, we're not actually in it, or we didn't actually witness it for ourselves. So could, in a way, like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to say it's like, is it bearing false witness? Is it like slandering people? But like, if you didn't watch the full thing, right?
Yeah.
That's like someone reading a whole book about, like, but like reading a whole book and then taking a quote out of something and being like, hey, this is what this whole book and what this whole person ideals represent. And it's like, is that really doing fair justice to a person that has taken like time out to write like a 1,000-page like book or something like that?
Yeah,
Right?
because the clip that went famous is really like, I think it was like 3 demons in the play or something like that. Like,
Yeah, it was like talking about booties and like little like all that other stuff. It was like,
you now too, bro. They coming for you now, bro. That you said that, bro.
I don't care, bro. But I mean, that's what they did, and I think, to be honest, like, I get there's a line, right, and I think at an Easter service, like, not doing it the traditional way. Honestly, Christians don't like change. Like, I think a lot of people don't like change. So I think the reality is, like, if having this service and then like you having language like, hey, little booties, like, bigger booties, whatever, like that, it's like, oh my gosh, why would you say this? Like, what is the point?
And to my knowledge, I feel like that was like the biggest thing that people pulled out in clips, right? Because that's all I've seen, right? Like, that's pretty much the extent, except for like the part of the resurrection at the end where Paris Chariz posted on his story, right? Like, aside from those two, it's like, I don't know, right? So I feel like, why do I necessarily need to have an opinion here? And most of the church is chastising him, and I feel like a lot of people didn't watch it. So it's like you see a clip of 10 seconds and then judge the whole thing, but it's like, I don't know, is that healthy? Is that the right thing to do? Are people judging too quickly? Like, what's the issue here?
Yeah, honestly, I think they are judging too quickly, but I think that's like, it's like that with a lot of things, right? I think it's like it with anyone that we don't like or disagree with, like, we're always quick to jump on someone and be like, oh, yo, this person is bad, this person's the enemy of the church, this person is this or that, because we're not understanding the context or background of these people. And I feel like, guaranteed, right? Like, and this has always been my thing with like internet, like, YouTube and Christians getting on platforms and stuff like that, is that people are like saying all this stuff, right? But like, will you even take the opportunity? If you saw this person out in public, would you actually like talk to them and have a conversation with them? And I feel like the conversation that they would have with a real life person would be a lot less not intense if they were to be face to face with this person, right? And then, I don't know. Like, I do think everyone was too quick to judge, but I could see for right reasons, where it's oh, if you're used to a traditional Easter service of talking about the resurrection, then like you should, like, I get it why people were like, right, Christians are upset about seeing like an Easter play and someone doing something outside of the box. You know what I mean?
All I'm saying is, Lige, bro, like, I just feel like we gotta like take a step back. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't like Michael Todd, right, just don't like consume his content. Like, just stay away from his content. Like, at the end of the day, because I've listened to Mike Todd, right, like probably for about 2 years, right, and I would listen to Mike Todd almost every Sunday. That's not my church, I'm not really affiliated with Transformation Church or anything like that, but I listen to Mike Todd, and a lot of times the things that people have said, I don't get that. I don't get it. Yeah, Mike Todd isn't like expositing the word like a John Piper, right? He's not doing that, right? But I don't have to go to Mike Todd to exposit the word. I can go to a John Piper. I can go to my local church. I can find a local pastor that literally exposits the word. And to people who don't know what that means, it's like just go line by line, like pulling what we think the meaning of the scripture is, right? In view of Jesus, right? So it's like, do you go to Mike Todd and expect Charles Spurgeon? Like, I don't understand the confusion. It's like, if you don't like Mike Todd and his charismatic way of his personality, if you don't like the lack of depth in his preaching, you are not in any way obligated to listen to Mike Todd.
At all. Bro, and this is so I've been learning this like in my class, like in my classes and stuff, right? So when it comes to like preaching, when it comes to teaching and stuff like that, right? Like at least how I've been learning it is that when you're engaging with the passage, right, and mostly as Christians, like if you're a preacher, like I'm not a preacher, but if you're a Christian, you want to always like try to like if you're in a Bible study, always bring in this text to try to figure out how does this point to Jesus, right? And some are harder than others, right? But like we've been learning this thing called like vectors, right? And like there's like different vectors as far as like how like what is the factual observations, what are the emotional observations, what are like the things that you're noticing in the text, and how does it apply to the original audience, and how does it apply to us today, right? And how does it apply to Christ's kingdom, Christ coming back, Christ living, dying, resurrecting, all that, right? So you take this strand of vectors, right, and then you try to figure out how does that connect to our church today. And I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily understand that because there are a lot of different vectors that you can go in that you might not necessarily notice unless you like do the actual like sitting down and actually trying to figure out how to like preach or how to teach the passage. But I feel like a lot of ways, and this may be a Mike Todd, right? He hasn't gone to formal seminary training or whatever, but how I view it is like he's pulling on a particular vector, and I don't know if he's necessarily like expositing like the background of every single passage or whatever, but he's pulling on a certain string of how he can relate to his church in that moment, right? So it's like if he's realizing that like this play, and obviously he's not preaching in the play or whatever, but I'm viewing it like this, where he's viewing his play is this play is like is something that can really tug on the like get people to see Jesus, and he knows that's what's best for his church, and knows that, and maybe that's why his church has been growing. Maybe like I don't know. Maybe we should be careful to not like jump on it and like call this something that is not. If God's really really in it,
test all spirits too, right? Like you gotta test it, right? Test it against the word. And I truly believe if you like, I'm not saying I blindly support Mike Todd and you should blindly support Mike Todd. That's not my point. My point is if you are to do this and listen to Mike Todd, like test what he's saying or just abstain from it. It's better to just avoid that content. If it's causing you to stumble and it's causing you to be angry, it's causing you to say all these things about him as a person, I would highly suggest you abstain from that content. You don't look at it. You pray about it. You pray for Mike Todd. There was a time I was listening to Mike Todd and he did say something really like off theologically, right? And I'm like, in my heart, I'm like, this is just another sinner. This is literally just another sinner that probably knows a little bit more than me. But in this thing, right now, I feel like he's wrong, right? But he's a sinner. I don't expect Mike Todd to have everything correct because I don't have everything correct. I'm just as much a sinner as he is, right? Elijah's just as much a sinner as he is, and it's like that's just another vessel that needs Jesus direly every day. So it's like. Yeah. Just because somebody has a platform and just because somebody's a pastor or just because they're popular does not take away from the fact that they are sinful and fallen without Jesus. And I know that's like a blanket terminology, but it's like the church is great at pointing people's sin out. But the church is also called to be there for people, right? The church is called to be a bearer of burdens. The church is called to to love thy neighbor, right? Love thy neighbor as thyself, and love God above all. So it's like that is your neighbor, regardless if he's right or wrong. Again, not blindly supporting Mike Todd, but it's like a lot of Christianity and Christendom, we do see things wrong, we call it out, but it's like we're also called to love those things that are wrong, love those people that are wrong, not the things, I should say the people, because they are all sinners as well, have grace.
Honestly, bro, I can't I used to be this way where like you have like people that you think are false teachers that they're living rent free in your head. I feel like that's an annoying space to be, and I kind of feel bad for like Christian YouTubers who make their whole like YouTube channel based off of like discernment or trying to.
I'm back.
Oh, you were.
There we go.
Okay, cool. But I was saying like, yo, I feel kind of bad for people that like, not bad, but I feel something in my heart for people that are making their ministry or YouTube channel or whatever based off of people that like, you know, of just you doing discernment or calling people false teachers, because like you people just like these people that you disagree with are living rent free in your head, like literally all the time. And you're trying to figure out how to make content. And, you know, to be honest, like these people probably aren't worried about you, but you're worried about them, which I feel like that could cause some like real like mental health struggles. You know what I mean? Like I feel like what's the point? Like I get it. I get it. Being aware of false teachers, calling them out. Yes.
Super. You got to be on edge because false teachers are all around, right?
They are all around, and I'm just like, yo, being aware of false teachers, like avoiding them, right? But like, if that's like taking it, I'm maybe I'm prejudging, maybe I'm presuming, but like, could that be taken away from like how you could be loving, like you said, loving your neighbor, how you could be, you know, loving, like
So
actually.
My opinion on this, right, is that we are actually I feel like we've been so obsessed with that fact, right? First of all, prayer is the best thing you can do, right? So if you're having those feelings, right, you could definitely say that if you really believe and you search the word, and you could say whatever you want to say, right? I'm not telling you guys to say or do whatever, but regardless of how you feel, take it to prayer first, right? Take it to prayer. Pray for that person. If you truly believe that what this person is saying or doing wrong is wrong, take it to prayer. And then after that, give that same effort to your local church. Give that same effort of you wanting proper teaching. Give that same servant heart that you have to see that proper preaching. Give that proper preaching to your church. And I don't mean just stand in front of the congregation and preach. I mean, you know, talk with your local pastors, talk with your congregation, teach other people younger than you around you. Be that change that you actually want to see, right? Because you hating on Michael Todd and you're in Nebraska and he's in Tulsa, Oklahoma, like it's not really relevant, right? But you affecting your local community, right? Preaching the gospel, you know, being in community with the people at your church, and being an influence, a positive influence and a light in your local church, that is directly affecting you and the people around you. So take a lot of your effort that you're going for people on the internet and just put it into prayer. Turn that, as Lecrae said, say, don't get bitter, get better, right? Like, take that bitterness, man, and bring it to God. Jesus wants to change that, right? Jesus wants to he wants to see you grow just as much as he wants to see those other people grow, and bring it to, if you're a man, bring it to younger men around you, you know, teach them the right ways, right? So they can go out and also teach the right ways, right? And that's how you make a change. You know, you don't make a change by just leaving a comment online, making a video online about something. You might make a change, but it's just, I feel like it's just better to be relational with people that are actually around you, you know, not someone who's just going to randomly see a comment online and either resent you or just scroll past it, you know?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So any last thoughts before we get into this Carl Lentz joint?
Yeah, man, I feel like I'm gonna like the second half of this podcast. I feel like I'm gonna like it. Man, so I guess I'll just get right into it. I was like, so as of recently, you know, we saw Carl Lentz return to ministry. And you know, for those that don't know, you know, Carl Lentz had a disqualifying you know, situation where he had to step down as the pastor of Hillsong, New York. And that was a whole big thing a few years ago. You know, hopefully people have been praying for him, you know, but he recently actually got a job at Transformation Church, and it's been making headlines like everywhere. Like, this is a few weeks ago, but like, so I guess the question here is, we don't have many questions here, but what can a pastor go back to ministry after being disqualified? And I'll leave this to the guy who attends you know, Reformed Theological, you know.
Hey, I'm dead, bro. So the question is, like, I feel like what kind of job in the church is like, is he allowed to be like, I think being a pastor, I don't think so. I feel like, maybe like no, I don't know. Like I think, as like if a pastor, like, can he go back to pastoring? Maybe not. A different role in the church though, like what like I don't, at least I don't see anything in the scriptures, and I may be wrong, and this may be heretical, that like I don't see anything that, is anything in the word that's saying that he can't return to like working for a church, like as far as like a strategic like partner, like whatever a marketing director, whatever the heck he is, like,
Yeah.
but he's not returning to pastoral ministry. I think that's a little bit of a difference where it's like, I don't know, like if he came on as a pastor, I think that would be a little different, because now he's shepherding people while also like people knowing of him as being this person that, ran his ministry into the ground. Like, so I don't think he should go back to that, because of the way transformation already gets a bad rap. Like, I don't think they care at this point, but I think like I think, yeah, he probably shouldn't go back to pastoral ministry. I'm not a pastor, so other pastors may say something different. But like, as far as like being in ministry, like, would we like, does that count every part of ministry? Like, what if he just like wants to serve in like, setting up chairs and tables? Like, can he not also do that as well? Right? Can he not like,
Dang, this is where we're missing Josh, bro. I feel like Josh
Yeah.
would have had all points out right now. He's like,
Bro.
all right, here in this scripture.
Yeah, we gotta bring this question up back to him when he comes back, so we can be like, hey, Josh, we probably missed this in the last pod. We're probably canceled now, so you gotta let us know what.
Yeah, you gotta clear the air, man, because he probably said something twisted. But yeah, no. As for that, yeah, I don't think he can go back to being a pastor. Again, I feel like, if those are things that you've done that kind of disqualified you, I don't know if I don't think so, because I feel like that's the whole reason. But I don't know. I guess it just depends on what's the reason. And in this case, I really don't know.
Yeah,
I'm actually like, it's out of my area of expertise. Go ask your local pastor.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like what transformation, and this is me like just assuming, or me just thinking, or projecting, or whatever, that I feel like Transformation Church is probably trying to embody the grace that is given to us through Jesus in a way, right? Where it's like, he's not going back to pastoral ministry, but he's doing something else to serve the local church.
He's working in the church. Let's just say, I think it was ministry strategist or something like that. That's the name of the position. Would we feel the same way if he did this for another business, right?
Yeah.
Would we feel the same way if he did this for an entertainment company, right? I don't think we would feel that way. I like, he eventually, he has to get his life back on track, right? He has to continue move on. Like, it's one thing that you fall, but we all fall, right? And we rely on the grace of Christ to pick us up, and we don't stay down, right? We pursue Christ, right? And is that what he's doing here? And if that's what he's doing here, and he's not in a role of an elder at the church, I don't see anything wrong with it, honestly.
Yeah. Like, honestly, like, I feel like he's just like, he's literally just working. Like, bro, there's so many, like, there's a lot of churches that like they bring on like as far as like production, as far as like working for the church, like some of these people that the churches hire aren't even Christian. So it's like, if he's coming in as like a strategist or whatever, like, and he's a Christian, but he's not returning to like formal ministry, like, I feel like it should be fine. I don't really see what the big deal is, but I think a lot of people that were affected by the Hillsong like situation, they probably look at it like, hey, why is this person like getting restored in this way? But it's like, at the end of the day, like, how would you want to be treated if you were like a person that messed up? And would you want to have grace being shown to you by, a church? And I feel like that's what maybe they're doing, right? They're showing him grace. They're loving on him well, or trying to love on him well.
Somebody said when something like this happens, like, I forgot who said this, but like, when somebody does something like egregious, right? Your Christianity is tested, because are you going to love that person and going to extend grace? And if you're not going to extend the grace, it's like, why? Because you have been pardoned for all of your sin, right? Because of what Jesus did, not of your own righteousness. Like your forgiveness, right? And your salvation is not of your own righteousness. So why condemn other people in pridefulness?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make any sense. It's like, yes, he fell, he committed sin, but you are also sinning. You're also sitting behind the computer, behind the door shuts. You're not perfect. Even if you're in the limelight all day and all night, you're still sinning somehow, right? So even through all of that, right, us all falling short, Jesus still chose to forgive us, right?
Yeah.
He went to the cross humbly. He died and resurrected, right, for your sins, right, to be forgiven. So it's like you had nothing at all to do with that, right? So why, when someone else sins, doesn't matter what the sin is, right? It's like all of a sudden you can't extend the same grace that you were given.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like, and I just thought of this, like, I feel like our hearts are at least 1 degree away from, like, 1 degree away from, like, being a Pharisee. Like, 'cause I feel like a lot of times when stuff like this comes up, it's like, it reminds me of, like, the woman that the Pharisees brought around. Like, obviously that's like an added part later, whatever, right? But it kind of reminds me of the story of, like, when, like, the Pharisees, like, they're like, this woman has to be condemned, or this person has to die because of, like, her doing what she's doing. And then, like, Jesus just is like, like, write it in the sand, whatever. And then at the end of the day, he's like, hey, like, I forgive you. Like, no one condemns you. Go and sin no more. And I feel like a lot of times we could be that way, where it's like, as Christians, like, Carl Lentz is like, at least I believe he's a Christian, right? And he's repentant and he's trusting Jesus, right? That we kind of hold these, like, people's sins up to them, and then just like, you are, no, we can't let this go. Like, you're harming the body, you're harming the church. But it's just like, like, if anyone looked at our lives, bro, I feel like somebody would say the same thing about us. You know what I mean? Like, if someone was to, like, be looking into our hearts, our inner thoughts and stuff, they'd be like, you're not a good fit for being a pastor. You're not a good fit for doing Christian YouTube. You're not a good fit for being a missionary. All these different things would come to mind. But it's like, at the end of the day, Jesus gives us more grace than anyone else ever could. And I feel like if we looked at it that way, we probably wouldn't have a problem with Carl Lentz doing something that's not pastoral ministry. And at the end, to be honest, like, my question is to the people that are just like, hey, he shouldn't be back in doing anything in the church. It's like, what do you want him to do? You know what I mean? Like,
they want him playing golf, bro. They want him to go play golf all day, bro.
Like, I feel like, I don't know, bro. Like, it's like, do you want him to just work a regular job? Do you want him to, not do anything in the church? Do you want him to just be a member? Even though, like, people that, like, are just members and don't do anything else, they get criticism too. So it's like, what do you want? What do you want him to do? You know what I mean? Like, like, there's this call for everybody to contribute to the church. Even, like, God is faithful. He is faithful and just to forgive us of our sins if we confess our sins, right? Should we still contribute? Shouldn't we still contribute to the church even if we fail sometimes? Like,
yeah.
And, like, I get the standards for a shepherd and the elder are higher and they're different. Like, how do we navigate that when someone messes up in that way? Can they not serve at all? Like, should they just watch in this pastor? Like, there's a certain amount of time that has to go by before they get back into ministry? What does that look like? Because, like, I'm pretty sure there are people that have these really great, and they seem like they're faithful teachers, but they're probably struggling with pornography at the end of the day, right? But no one's really, like, doing that, right? Because they're not as big as a Carl Lentz or something like that. So I don't know, man. That's really my thoughts. Honestly, I don't have a problem with Carl Lentz doing his thing. If something happens, I'm just like, oh, that sucks. Moving on, because it's not
all
my
I'm
local
saying
church.
is, Carl Lentz, Mike Todd, if y'all want to air it out, bro, come on to Sinners Only podcast.
Hey,
we welcome you on here. Clear the air. You know what I'm saying? We got a spot for you. We got a spot for you. This is not a church, so Carl Lentz, feel free to pull up.
Hey, yo, I'm dead. But if you got a fee, we're not paying because
we're not paying that, bro.
we know
You pay us a fee to come on here.
Hey yo, I'm dead. I know your time is worth something, but like we ain't got it like that. So by by the grace of the Lord Jesus, hopefully you can come on.
Come bless us on the pod, man. Come bless us on the pod. Show us some grace too, you know.
Hey, yo, right? Yo, bro, before we get off, any last thoughts?
Bro, honestly, I gotta show the anime people some grace too. I apologize to y'all, bro. Like I love y'all.
Hey.
I love me some anime. You know, I watch One Piece. Not One Piece. One Punch Man. You feel me? You know,
hey, yo.
I watch Bleach. You know, I have some anime deep down inside. You know.
You got something in there. You know
I even watch anime related. So you know, tap in with that channel. You know, feel me?
Hey,
subscribe, like that.
Hey, yo, but this can't be a plug for the channel, bro. Come on now.
Shamelessly had to plug it.
But if you're into dope Christian music that's not promoted by Rapzilla, that's doing well. Shout out to Chad. Bro, I got no ties with this, so I'm just gonna say that.
Yo, that's mad funny, bro.
Hey.
Yo, this is why we the Sinners Only podcast, man. Yo, they trying to cancel us, bro.
Hey, yo, we here. But yo, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. If you watch this, like, share it with your friends. Like, let them know that we have no opinions on Mike Todd or Carl Lentz. So if they
except
want
for the spitting in the face, bro. That was pretty dirty, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't letting no man spit in my face, bro.
that was nasty. But if you're into, you know, sometimes biased, unbiased, Sinners Only takes, yo, subscribe to the pod, share with your friends. We will catch you guys.
Tap in with Cage Stage Crouch, man.
Hey, yo,